Hello, friends in Christ. This reflection will be in honor of America's 250th birthday. First and foremost, happy Independence Day to all. Kind of decked out for today's occasion, it's okay. It's cool. So, reflecting on this, we must ask ourselves, what is freedom and truth? That was something that 56 men fought. They pledged their lives, their fortunes, even their livelihood to ensure that America is where it is today. Freedom didn't come free, it came at a cost. St. John Paul the Great reflected on freedom during his pilgrimage to Philadelphia in 1979, just a year following his election as the successor to St. Peter. He said, "When the Liberty Bell rang for the first time in 1776, it was to announce the freedom of your nation, the beginning of the pursuit of a common destiny independent of any outside coercion. This principle of freedom is paramount in the political and social order. However, man's life is also lived in another order of reality, in the order of his relationship to what is objectively true and morally good. Christ himself linked freedom with the knowledge of truth. As pointed out in the Gospel of John, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free." Likewise, he would also remind us that freedom consists not in doing what we like, but in having the right to do what we ought. Freedom can be defined for so many things. Unfortunately, in today's society, freedom is hijacked that is pleasing to the devil. But what is freedom? Well, we can never look to freedom without looking at the example of Christ, who died for us. Charlie Kirk, God rest his soul, reminds us that freedom is not free. It must be fought for and defended. The late public speaker who founded Turning Point had an idea that we must cherish for the rest of our lives, especially if America wants to exist for another 250 years. A nation that was a beacon of hope for immigrants that first came here in the late 19th century, well into the 20th century prior to the World Wars. Freedom does come with personal responsibility, just as Charlie Kirk reminds us. It comes with accountability, in which the next generation must take ownership of those freedoms, to be free to say whatever they please, to peacefully pray, not loot, not riot, not pillage or rape people. Rather, freedom is to pursue God. And we cannot have that freedom unless we have faith. Freedom becomes fragile without faith, as Charlie Kirk reminds us. Our freedom and rights come from something that is higher. That is something the 56 men in Philadelphia, my hometown, of course, pledged that they were going to lay down their lives, just as Christ laid down his life for you and for me. These 56 men, one a Catholic by the name of Charles Carroll, pledged their lives, their fortunes, their well-being to ensure that 13 colonies would be free from the tyrannical grip of Great Britain. Of course, Thomas Jefferson, who was the author of the Declaration of Independence, framed it perfectly. That we as a nation have unalienable rights, and of them is life. Life comes from God. He is the author of life. He made you and me in his image and likeness, and there's nothing we can do about it. Liberty. Liberty is defined as something that we are free to do, without infringement from the government or a dictator. The pursuit of happiness. We are free to pursue God and what is pleasing to Him. For 250 years, America has learned that freedom. The price was paid by the blood of men and women who laid down their lives for you and for me. We can never forget that. But what will the next 250 years will look like, we do not know. Psalm 33:12 reminds us, "Blessed is the nation whose Lord is God." As we celebrate 250 years, my friends, let us take a moment to understand what is true freedom, and that is rooted in Christ. He wants us to be free. Fulton Sheen also talks about in his talk, Quo Vadis America, Where Are You Going?, that patriotism is defined as love of God, love of country, love of neighbor. You take away one of those, you don't have patriotism. For 250 years, we have expressed our patriotic duty, first to God, then our family, and of course those that are neighbors, our community. Let freedom ring throughout, friends. But most importantly, let God's freedom ring about throughout our land, from sea to shining sea. And most importantly, never take for granted the freedom that you and I have, because it comes from God and our strong faith in Him. Fight for it, defend it, and most importantly, take personal responsibility for the freedoms that we cherish today. Happy Independence Day. May God bless you, and may God bless America.